Hello friends and good evening. Welcome to the video. We're talking about Tae's Layover album, but first, I'm convinced I'm dying. I'm convinced my windpipe is currently in the process of actively collapsing. And I have asthma, I've had asthma since I was a kid, so I'm sure that's a factor, but I'm dying. None of you care. We're here to talk about Tae, and I'm giving you a warning. I'm giving you big, bold warning. I didn't like this album very much. Now, to be fair, in comparison to other videos where I've given you a very similar warning, I didn't hate this album, right? There are videos out there that I've posted where I gave this warning at the start, where I tore albums to shreds, where I was like, every song is bad, there's no redeeming qualities. This isn't that level. I didn't have that many negative things to say about it, but just be warned, I'm not a fan of this album, and my score will reflect as much. But before we get there, we have to go over how this video is going to work. I'm going to run through the track list. I'm going to give you my thoughts on all the songs, other than the ones I've already reviewed. And then I'm going to give it a score of 10 at the end. However, I do have a few disclaimers before we continue. Disclaimer number 1. This album is brand new. It came out 30 minutes ago. So, I'm one listen in. My opinions on all the songs very much may change over time. Second disclaimer is, of course, my standard one. Everything I say in this video is just my opinion. You do not have to agree with my opinion because, as the mug always says, music is subjective, and that is great. Okay, now that we have that out of the way, we can get started. And the first song on this album is Rainy Days, and I'm skipping it. I reviewed this song, and Love Me Again whenever they came out 2-3 weeks ago now, however many weeks ago it was. But I reviewed them already. I'm not going to talk about them again. I'll put the review in the description. You can watch it if you want to, but I'm not getting into it. So, onto the first song I actually will be talking about, which is Blue. And it's fine. It's fine. It's a song, and it's fine. But it's just a song, and it's just fine. Actually, calling it a song feels like a bit of a stretch, if I'm being perfectly honest. This feels like an interlude that got stretched into a full-length-ish song. And it's just, it doesn't feel like a fully fleshed out song. What it does really have going for it is that it's boring. This song is boring. What little is here is boring. This song bored me, and I don't know what it provides to the album. I literally have nothing else to say about Blue beyond that, so we're gonna move on, and I'm never gonna listen to this song again. Cool? Cool. Okay, skipping Love Me Again, we've reached the official title, which is Slow Dancing, and I feel like I need to make this abundantly clear. I like Tae. I do. He is actually my favorite member of BTS. If I were to pick a favorite member, it would be Tae. However, in terms of music, we're coming off of some of the best Bangtan solos we've had. I'm sorry, 7 is an amazing song. In spite of my complaints that I could have about it, it's a great song. I listen to it very often. It is already one of my most streamed songs of 2023. And yes, Tae's prior singles were less than stellar. They were. But in my mind, I could delude myself. I could tell myself, they're not the main title. The main title's coming, and the main title's gonna be good. It's basically, here's the thing. I watched Sarah Z's video about the John Locke conspiracy thing, and I feel like that was me. I feel like I was the delusional girl sitting in my room being like, the real title is coming, and the real title is gonna be good. Unfortunately, it's not. It's not good. It's not bad. It's not a bad song. It's far from the worst Bangtan solo. But the song itself isn't great either. The verses are fine. But I felt nothing listening to them, and I feel no urge to ever listen to them ever again. As for the chorus, it has this very lazy vibe to it. And I don't mean in terms of, the music itself. The actual background music is not lazy. The laziness comes from Tae singing. It doesn't sound like he wants to be singing this song. It sounds like he's very uninterested with the act of singing this song. This song, however, does have the best part of this album, which is the outro. This instrumental outro goes off. It is excellent, but it is not enough to save the song for me. Big picture, here's my theory. This is my crack theory. This is crack theory time. I think that the Hybe staff, the Hybe execs, knew they needed a solo album from Tae because all the members are getting a solo album. I'm pretty sure, yeah, they've all done one with Tae. They have a solo song or album, but I don't think Tae wanted a solo album, and I said this before, I said this in my review for his first two songs. I don't think Tae can really carry a solo album, and this album proves that he can't to me, but I think they knew they needed to release it, so they just threw together what they could, and this is the result we got. Also, I have nothing more to add in regards to the piano version, so I'm not going to talk about it. Okay, last but not least, we have For You, and I have questions. I have a couple questions. Question number one, this, not really a question, just a point of note. This should have been a feature. They should have featured someone to do the chorus, just a thought. But speaking of the chorus, who did the first chorus? I'm curious. You're not going to convince me it's Tae. It's not. So who did the first chorus? I want to know because it was actually really good. The first chorus of this song is genuinely the only part that is sung on this album, aka not the instrumental outro of the title, but the only part that is sung that has life to it. That feels like there was a desire to make music involved in the singing of that chorus, and it was good. One of the best parts of the album. The rest of the song is fine, but just like with the rest of this album, there's not enough there for it to actually be a thing. Like, it's fine, it's perfectly acceptable. By the legal definition, it's definitely a song, but like, there's not enough there for it to be bad, but by definition, that means there's not enough there for it to be good. But that is all I have to tell you about this album. So with that, I just score time, and overall, I'm giving it a 5 out of 10. I am. It's a boring album. It's boring. It's boring as shit. Like, there is no life in this album whatsoever. It feels like there was no creative energy put into the actual making of the album itself, and it was viewed a lot more as just an avenue for them to make a lot of music videos, which, to be fair, are beautiful. They're very well done. They're very well shot. However, in terms of the actual music, you know, the music part of a music video, it feels extremely lazy. I will concede, my score is harsh. 5 out of 10 is pretty harsh for a boring album, but I'm standing by it because A, I'm mad, and B, my scores have always been subjective. That's just how this channel works. They've been subjective and they fluctuate with my mood. So we're keeping it as a 5 out of 10 because I'm mad. Like, I feel like I've wasted time both making this video and just listening to the album in general, but I'm making the video anyway because if I had to sit through this damn album, I'm gonna make content out of it because otherwise this was a waste of time and otherwise I gain nothing out of it. Anyway, the album isn't bad. That's the one praise I will give it. The album isn't bad simply because there's not enough there for it to be bad, but that also means there's not enough there for it to be good. So yeah, 5 out of 10. And yeah, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to comment your thoughts on this album down below. If you loved it, let me know. I'm sure there are many people who love this album. I'm not one of them, nor will I ever become one, but you can let me know in the comments. You can also like and subscribe if you want to, or don't, because I will be okay either way. And in the description, I'm going to put not only my review of the other Tae songs, but all the other Bangtan and Bangtan related reviews that I've done. I'm going to put them all down there. You can check them out if you so choose. But yeah, thank you again for watching. Bye!